Dr. Mindy here, and on this video, we are going to talk about, is it healthy to do one meal a day, every day, day after day? We call this OMAD, and a lot of fasters do it. So let's talk about it. Is that healthy? And if you are new to my channel, I just want to say welcome. I am a woman on a mission. We are trying to change the direction of healthcare through the principles of fasting. So please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and dive in. I got a lot of information on fasting here for you. And those of you that send my videos out, you make the comments, you join me in Fast Training Week. I love being on this journey. Many of you actually, when you see me in public, you'll say, I'm one of your million. I love that. We are all in this together, and when you get healthy and I get healthy, we can start to create more joy. We can create more happiness in the world through something as simple as changing the timing of when we eat. Okay, O-matters. I get these people a lot. Some of you may be an O-matter. An O-matter is one meal a day. And one meal a day means you pretty much are gonna fast all day, and then usually O-matters go about 22 to 24 hours. Literally, this whole YouTube channel was built off of O-matters, and let me tell you a little story behind that. So with one meal a day, when people first come to doing one meal a day over and over and over again, you no doubt will get a great result. But if you stay doing one meal a day over and over and over again, no doubt you will get stuck. And so when I first started bringing fasting to YouTube, let me know in the comments if you've been on subscriber, follower for a while. Many of you were proponents, had just finished reading Jason Fung's Obesity Code, and you got so excited about that you just started eating one meal a day. And then after months, your weight loss results stopped. And so many of you found my channel where I was teaching fasting variation. So, and I'm going to explain the different variations that I typically recommend. So I am very familiar with this one meal a day mentality. In the beginning, it works. Long term, it doesn't, and let me explain why. First, let's talk about why you would want to do OMAD, or one meal a day. The first is because it's ridiculously good for weight loss. Let's just be honest, and if you've lost weight doing one meal a day, put it in the comments so everybody can know. It also is that first step in to fasting. So when you first start to go from 6 meals a day and you train yourself to one meal a day, you're gonna notice oh my gosh, this is all magic. It also is great for helping you unstick your weight. So if you've been doing intermittent fasting, 13 hours, and you really need that extra push, going to one meal a day can unstick you. I highly recommend it. It's also great for chronic conditions, and it's really good for men. Men typically can rock one meal a day because it brings a man's testosterone levels up to close to 2,000%. So these are the conditions we would use one meal a day for. Here's the problem, is that it can get to a point where one meal a day is harmful. And how you would know it was harmful is that you stop getting fasting results. And a large part of that is you have to remember fasting induces something called a hormetic stress. And a hormetic stress is where you do something new with your diet or the timing of your food. It's a little uncomfortable. And in that discomfort, what happens is your body adapts and becomes stronger. So once you start making it easy for the body doesn't have to, you don't force it into adaptation. So the result is not as big. So if you're not getting results, you're going to want to listen to the variation plan that I have for you here. Okay, the other area that I see one meal a day where it's harmful is when your hair starts falling out. So this means you're losing minerals. In some cases, you may be disrupting your thyroid because there's no variation to your fasts. So if that's you, you were one meal a day, perhaps you're stuck with your results, or you're starting to get hair loss, it's time to vary it. And then the other group of people that should never do one meal a day over and over and over again are women. Because we need to take into consideration our 3 sex hormones, estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Regardless of where you are in your life, we need to take that into consideration, and we need more variation. Okay, having said all of that, let's talk about my favorite variations. So, there are the first variation that a lot of you have heard me say is called a 5-1-1. 5-1-1 is where 5 days a week you pick your favorite fast. And it can't be OMAD because I'm going to show you what one fast is. So maybe it's 17 hours, maybe it's 19 hours, but it's somewhere between 17 and 20 if you're an experienced faster, somewhere between 13 and 15 if you're new to this. So 5 days a week, you're going to pick your favorite fast and try to stick to that length. 1 day a week, you're going to elongate your fast. You're going to go, maybe you go to this 1 meal a day. Maybe you decide to go 36 hours and do a fat burner fast, or maybe you decide to do a 48-hour fast. But you want to push that fast to an uncomfortable place, so you force your body to adapt. And then 1 day a week, you don't fast. What you're doing in this 5-1-1 is you're mimicking what our cave ancestors did, which is go for a period without food, and then they would get food, and they would feast. And then they'd go through a period where they'd have to famine, and they would go into this fasted state. This is how the human body was designed. So 5-1-1 is really mimicking that. The 4-2-1 is where we're taking 4 days of your favorite length fast, 2 days where we elongate it. So this is for a little more weight loss, is what I recommend for people to do, is a 4-2-1 if they want a little deeper weight loss experience. And then the 1 day, again, you're not fasting. Now the 3-3-1's a little different. 3-3-1 is 3 days of your favorite fast, 3 days where you go at least 1 meal a day. So it's, if you've been like an 1 meal a day forever kind of person, this may be where you go from 1 meal a day to this. So 3 days of around 15 to 17 hours of fasting, 3 days where you elongate your fast, and then 1 day, listen up because it's going to be a little different. If you want a greater healing response, you're going to go all the way through that day with no food. So 1 day without food. That is, to me, the 3-3-1 is made specifically to accelerate healing. This is the variation I put some of my chronically ill patients on when we're really trying to amplify a healing effect. So these are your variations that work better than doing this over and over and over again. So when we say, is it healthy to do 1 meal a day? Every day, for a short period of time it'll work, for a long period of time, no. And here are all the nuances you need to know. So if you were a 1 meal a dayer and you've switched to one of these variations and you're getting great success, tell your story in the comments. This is how we all learn. And as always, from the bottom of my heart, I hope that helps. Okay, it's Fast Training Week. I want to tell you 2 things. 1, Fast Training Week is sponsored by Element Mineral Salts, which is amazing for fasters. It makes fasting so much easier, and you can win a box. All you've got to do is get the free companion guide. All the instructions are on there. Element gives 5 boxes, so 1 box to 5 people every single day of Fast Training Week, gives a box away. Second thing, if you want more guidance through this Fast Training Week, come join me in my Reset Academy. We are pulling our Academy members together during Fast Training Week and supporting each other. Plus, there is a live Q&A call with me in the Reset Academy. So just put Reset Academy in your notes, or in the companion guide, there'll be a link. But don't give up on fasting. Fast Training Week is where we really exercise this muscle so you can break through new barriers with fasting.